Welcome back. Welcome. Oh, I'm just killing mosquitoes. But anyway, welcome back to
Yeah.
another episode of Podcast with Adi and Amil. Anyway, we
It's
are way back
Coronacast
yesterday.
time.
We are way back yesterday, and this is episode 2 of Coronacast. If you have noticed, I've shaved and I've been made fun of already. And
This is
Amil
the
hasn't
last time
shaved.
I'm talking to you.
Okay. Now we'll have episode
It's done.
3
I'm
for
I'm
the
only
five
gonna
people
talk to
who.
you because of work.
Is it
Work
a
betrayed
professional?
us.
Is it a professional relationship now?
This
Only
is just a professional courtesy I'm doing for the both of us. Otherwise, I have no interest in talking to you and looking at your non-face.
anyway. We're doing not one but two movie reviews today. We're doing pretty interesting movies, both by Imtiaz and one of
One
them being
good and one not.
one very good and one possibly the most horrible movie I've watched in 2020. One of them being Rockstar, the classic. Should we call it a classic? Is
Mhm.
it a classic? It is a classic.
I mean, it is for us for sure. For me, it
Yeah, yeah,
is. I
yeah. For
think
me,
it's one of those movies, those rare movies from like the past decade, which has actually received cult status. Because I don't think people really liked it that much when it came out. Like
yeah,
critics
I
liked
watched it
it.
with my mom, so it
Yeah,
was
I watched it
pretty.
with my family too.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh well, okay.
No,
I
and
guess
the
this is
okay,
love.
yeah, okay. The first movie being Rockstar, and the second movie we are going to talk about today is Love Aaj Kal 2.
2020.
Love Aaj Kal 2 2020. It is. I'll be honest. I haven't watched the first Love Aaj Kal completely because it's really not my kind of movie.
Did
But
you watch the
still,
second one completely?
no. But still,
So half and half एक तो पूरी देख ली मतलब.
bro, I am a person who skips and watches movies. Okay, because I have the attention span of a duck. So I
Yeah.
I skip and watch movies. And Love Aajkal, I think I texted you that I cannot skip and watch this movie. If I skip, I go to a scene which is equally cringy as the.
And you just skip the entire movie, and in
I
the end, you'll
skip the
just be like, "Oh,
entire.
I'll just."
Yeah, and then my
No,
internet
so
stopped working, and I never tried fixing it. I was just like, fine, thank you, internet.
yeah, you're fine with this. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine with not
I
being
was
in.
like, just chuck it. I don't want Love Aajkal anymore. No love, no
No, so
Aajkal.
I watched it twice in the same day, like full start to finish twice in the same day. Why? First, I was watching it on my own because like I was just like, you know what, I have nothing to do. I'll just start, and it had just shown up on Netflix. So I started watching it, and then I was sitting in the room, and then Dad came in. I was like an hour into the movie, and Dad was just like, "Is it good?" I said, "No, it's not."
It's
I was like, don't watch it. He's like, yeah, we're watching this. I was just like, just don't watch it. Please don't watch it. And then I finished it. And then I was still telling him, don't watch it. He was like, nahi dekho. I was like, fine. Now I'll watch you watch it just so at the end of it, I could say I told you so. Because at the end of a movie, Dad does not like, he doesn't like say anything about it. He just sort of gets up
and leaves.
after the movie is ended, and he just like goes like good night and just leaves.
No, I was so frustrated. I was talking to someone on the phone, like I was texting someone, and I was like, "Listen, my internet's gone down. I can't keep texting you because my mobile data isn't working either. So I don't want to switch on my Wi-Fi again. I don't want to fix it because I don't want to watch this movie at all. It was so bad. And we're talking
If I
about
fix the
Rockstar
Wi-Fi, it'll
because we're
start
trying
playing
to,
again.
huh?
If you fix the Wi-Fi, the movie would resume, and then so would the nightmare.
Yeah, yeah. And we're talking about Rockstar and Love Aaj Kal because both of them directed by the same person. And
Or is it? Or it doesn't seem like it is.
yeah, it genuinely
Because
does.
yeah,
Because Rockstar is here. Like I would put
yeah,
it way above, and Love Aaj Kal, I can't put the webcam any lower, but it's somewhere below the
yeah.
ground. I'm on second floor and it's in the ground floor or something. It was so bad.
No, so it's the reason it's bad. First, we'll talk about Love Aaj Kal because it's the
Yes.
most recent one.
I
I
can't really
missed
talk
it
about
in
Love Aaj
theater.
Kal, but you go ahead.
No, fine. I'll talk about it. So I missed it in theaters. I wanted to watch it. I knew there was a lot of backlash about the movie before it even came out because of the trailer and some scene some scenes seemed like very overacted from the trailer itself. And like to that, like the response of the makers is like, yeah, it's like a 3-minute trailer. What can you even actually judge from a 3-minute trailer of a movie which is about 2.5 hours long? Fair enough. That's like, maybe the trailer was badly cut. Turns out it's one of these cases where the trailer was an exact, like, accurate representation of the movie has, which is
And
nothing
isn't like
to say.
isn't that the scene in the trailer where Sara Ali Khan is confronting Kartik Aaryan? Like, sab
Yeah,
main kar dungi to tum kya karoge, or something like that. And
yeah,
that scene is there in the exact first scene in the movie itself, like
yeah.
the first 5 minutes. And I was like,
If you've seen the trailer, you basically know how the events of the movie play out beat by beat.
yeah,
Because they didn't make a trailer, they made a summary of the movie, like,
yeah, that
and then
that's we should probably
why
include
would you
some
do
clips
that?
from the trailer somewhere in this video, like,
Yeah, to show it. But like it starts off, but the thing is, I'd wanted to watch the movie, so I when it was out, I'd bought tickets for it before Corona, and I went to the theater. And once I reached there, they told me that the show's been cancelled because of like low sales. It was like a night show. We usually go at night because we don't want to like
mm,
be around people,
mm,
which is funny because that's all I want now.
mm,
But yeah, so we went, and the show had been cancelled because of the fact that nobody had bought any tickets for it. So I missed it then. It came out on Netflix a couple of days ago. I watched it with
mm,
an open mind because I'd heard so much crap about it so far. Everyone who I talked to about this movie was telling me not to watch it. So I was like, "ठीक है," like, a lot of people said that about Tamasha and Rockstar as well. कि ऐसी ही picture है, गाने ही गाने हैं. I was like,
mm.
"चलो fine," but like it's bad.
It was so bad.
And and it's bad, not because like because it's just like, oh, like it's I feel like I'm just saying it's bad and not really describing why. The
No,
reason why
yeah,
it's bad is
it's just
because,
bad. Like, there's nothing you can say. It's
yeah,
just, if I had to ask you, like, tell me one good thing about this movie,
yeah.
it'll be very difficult to come out with a good thing about this movie. Like, for at least for
No,
me.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's why I wanted to. The only way to describe why this movie is bad is to talk about Rockstar, because this movie has a story. Like Imtiaz writes basically sort of similar stories
Mm,
about how he understands love, and whenever he does that from his perspective, it works really well. So Rockstar was his sort of, imagination of what love is like for him, this old school, erratic, insane sort of love. And that worked. Like it worked pretty well because of performances, soundtrack editing, many reasons, and mostly the writing and the editing. Now, in this movie, the main problem was that he started off the movie by trying to sort of gauge what a millennial's viewpoint of love is. So he's like 45, 50, and it's a 45, 50-year old's interpretation of what current generation love is like.
and
And
they
those
don't
are
know what
never
TikTok
good.
yet.
What?
Like, they don't know what TikTok yet. Like all the TikTok
Yeah.
videos we will make for each other.
Yeah, and so it just lacks that way, and it's not his fault. He tried to make a movie his own way through a different sort of lens, but that's when he tries to do that, it doesn't really work, because he's really good at sticking to that insane, eccentric, old school love, that concept of old school love, because with Laila Majnun, Rockstar, Tamasha, when he tries to put a twist on things, pun because song. And when he tries to put a twist on things, he just fails miserably, because it's happened so many times now. It happened with Harry Met Sejal,
Yeah,
it happened with this one. Harry Met Sejal in retrospect is not as bad as I thought it was anymore. It's at least watchable.
yeah. Like if you
This
compare
one,
Love Aaj Kal 2 and Harry Met Sejal wins. Like by a pretty big margin.
on a lot of counts, because in that movie, like, somewhere went wrong in the execution of it all, but the on its own, the music's really good, the
It
story
has
is
better
fine. It's not
acting.
a
It has better acting.
Yeah,
Like,
editing's much better too,
yeah.
and cinematography is much better. This movie felt so like it felt like it was made by like the producers and not the filmmaker, because it felt like, like there wasn't a lot of personality
Like, you
in
know
it.
how
It
they say
was,
कि वो दिल से नहीं बनाया movie. Like he did not put his heart
huh,
and soul in it. It was just like made for the heck of making. like the
Yeah.
same kind of criticism that Harry Met Sejal received. That it
Yeah.
seemed like Shah Rukh made the movie and not Imtiaz. Like Shah Rukh was the
It
director.
seemed like Shah Rukh wanted to make an Imtiaz movie, and that's why he asked Imtiaz to write a
Just be
movie
there.
around him.
Yeah, just be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Just
I
like
get
chill.
that.
Europe चलेंगे मजा आएगा.
bro,
So,
Euro tour.
and I think because this is Kartik Aaryan's first proper flop, and because Kartik Aaryan was such a huge hit, and Sara Ali Khan was just fresh in the business, and like her first movie, which was Simba, did like what 200, 150, 200 crores easy. So they were just like, oh, young stars, everyone likes them.
She
So this
wasn't
movie will
really
work.
acting in Simba though. Like a lot of this movie revolved around a lot of Love Aaj
Sara
Kal
Ali Khan.
revolved around Sara Ali Khan and her acting.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
Simba, barely any of it revolved around Sara Ali Khan and her.
Yeah, because that was Ranveer's thing. But the point is, like, I think the people who were making the movie saw of the potential cloud that this movie could have had if they got these two leads together.
Yeah.
But that's all they sort of did, and the script is basically non-existent because if I'm thinking about it correctly, what really happens is that Karthik Aryan is sort of inexplicably insane.
Mm.
Like it
Yeah.
seems he has Asperger's or something like that, some sort of, because he has a very archaic and fixed understanding of what love is, and so he's sort of just like that. It's never explained why he's like that. Sara Ali Khan is given a lot of character, but that character is just wrong because she's a 22-year-old girl who is focused on career. Like she will never compromise anything because of her career, and like that's her character. And they give us backstory and reason as to why she is the way she is. But the biggest problem with her character is that her entire character just revolves around what people she's close to believe
Mm.
about life, and it's not her own belief she runs on. Like her mother tells her कि पैसे सब कुछ होता है, कोई अपना नहीं होता, that's why career पे ध्यान दो, प्यार पे कभी मत बेसहारा कभी भी हो सकते
Yeah.
हो. So that's why she runs with that for a while. Then she meets Randeep Hooda, who sort of in parts tells his story to her,
Mm.
and whatever he tells her, she runs with that ideology for a while, and then there's sort of like a twist in his story which makes her lose faith in love, so she runs with that ideology for a while, and then the last part of the story becomes of Randeep Hooda's stories becomes like a cautionary tale, so then she goes back to love. So like none of what she does is because she believes so, it's because what the people around her are telling her what love and life is all about, and that's just bad.
See, I didn't know
And
about
Kartik
any of
Aaryan just
this.
sort of there.
I didn't know about
Huh?
any of this because I never watched the movie. All of this is new to me.
Yeah, so quick summary about Randeep Hooda's character. Much like the first Love Aaj Kal, where Rishi Kapoor was sort of the guide to Saif Ali Khan, and he was playing the old school, like his story runs in the 80s and the 90s.
Rest in peace,
So
Rishi Kapoor.
young, yeah, rest in peace, Rishi Kapoor, man, what a great actor. And so in the 90s, Kartik Aaryan turns out to be Randeep Hooda, which is awfully ambitious. But okay, we'll run with it. And to first thing first, I just want to get this out of the way. There's a point, I don't know if you reached this point, it was near the end,
No.
where they show Kartik Aaryan sort of morphing into Randeep Hooda, so like Kartik Aaryan's later years,
Mm.
and they use CGI to readjust his jawline and add a fake beard. This is in the movie. It is
I need to watch this.
horrifying. No, it's horrifying, Adi. Do not. It haunts. It's a haunting image because it's Kartik Aaryan's face up till here, and then after here is like a chin strap beard and a jaw that is clearly not real, and it's not makeup. And because the hair is like, it looks like animated porcupine hair instead of a beard. It's not natural hair, and I don't know why they did this. We'd already bought the fact that fine, he turns into Randeep Hooda. They didn't have to go so far. And anyway, so Randeep Hooda plays 90s Kartik Aaryan. 90s Kartik Aaryan had a pretty simple sort of love story where he grew up in Udaipur, and he was in love with this girl and him try to get together, but the family gets in the way, and the girl eventually is asked to, you know, the family asks her to leave and like move to Delhi because things were like people were saying things about their relationship. So he follows her to Delhi, and this is the first part of a three-parter story that he tells Sara Ali Khan. So Sara Ali Khan says, "Wow, like love is grand. Like you can handle anything in love. You can move to other places for people you love. Fine." The second part of this, like this happens, she runs with it. She falls in love with Kartik Aaryan, present day Kartik Aaryan, and the relationship going fine. Then Randeep Hooda continues his story and says that once he got to Delhi and actually started being with that girl, Leena is the girl's name. Randeep Hooda started to be with that girl. He realized that he's in a new city now. There are people and other women and options are everywhere. So he serially cheats on her
What a
to the point where he basically
yeah,
asks her to leave him. And she does eventually. Fine.
man.
And so this freaks out Sara Ali Khan more, and then like she fights with present day Kartik Aaryan. And then they have a pretty big breakup where Kartik Aaryan goes like, I know you don't want to see me, but that doesn't mean I don't want to see you. So I want to see you. And the thing is, I want to see you one last time because I'm going to go do a project for 2 years in Manali or Himalayas. Manali, basically.
Bruh.
So then he leaves. Like, then he leaves and goes to Manali. Anyway, so then like Sara Ali Khan's sad, and then she receives like the third part of Randeep Hooda story from Randeep Hooda, which basically in which he says ki I didn't know what I had when I had it, and that's why I let it go, and that's why I don't want you to lose it as well. So you should
Is it like
really
that?
go
Like
after
when
him.
people say you don't know what you have until you lose it?
Yep,
By the
pretty
Pinterest,
much.
it has script. The script is from Pinterest. It is not an
No,
original.
so then Sara Ali Khan goes insane again because Randeep Hooda cries about something that happened to him 20 years ago. The fact that he was, that he let go of that person he loved. Even and then he says that he tried to find her again. He found her, but she was like pregnant, so she had moved on, and he hadn't, and that pain always stays with him. So that happens. Sara Ali Khan gets sad and goes like, "Oh no, pyar is important," and then goes to Manali, hugs Kartik Aaryan, and the movie ends.
Do you think if instead of Sara Ali Khan, some other
Mhm.
actress would have been there, would it have been better? Or was there a
No, I
problem with the
think
way the characters were developed, not the acting?
no. The acting, see, the acting is it's not good, but it's mainly also mostly reliant on the script.
Mm,
Because when you're asked to do these things, it's not the acting you're not buying into, it's the actions of the character that you're not really buying into. So that was the problem for me, that I was just like, why is she doing this? Like, why is she having a conniption at dinner randomly
mm,
for no good reason other than the fact that she's sort of scared for the future? Everyone's scared for the future.
mm.
Like, look at where we are right now in the
Yeah.
real world. Everyone's scared for the future all the time. That's fine. So it's not really on the actors. Kartik Aaryan really tried, but I think the problem is that at least most Imtiaz movies, the good ones, even his writing, the way he writes, there's not a lot of actors that can sort of tap into and access what Imtiaz is trying to capture.
Mm,
Kartik Aaryan tried really hard. He wasn't bad. It's just that his characterization was so like surface level. कि हाँ
mm,
ये आशिक है, ये पागल है. He is just a crazed believer in love, and he'll do anything for it. And he at one point, I think in the movie, Randeep Hooda also tells him कि like ये सब उसे प्यार करते हो तो उसे जाने दो, ये सब चीजें एडवाइस देने के लिए होती है, करने के लिए नहीं. And this is like the one good moment from his character that we get where young Kartik Aaryan says that, yeah, like just don't say anything to Sara Ali Khan,
mm,
because if you tell her to come back to me, she'll never get the chance to do it on her own, because there'll be someone else telling her what to do all over again.
mm,
So if she's gone, that's fine. If she needs to come back, she needs to do that on her own. So don't do anything,
mm,
which was nice. And that was the only nice part about this movie, that and Randeep Hooda's performance, because he's outperforming everyone. Because I think his character also had, like, it had an arc. Like,
mm,
the character had an arc, which these two didn't have. They just sort of have a stupid fight in the middle, and then they make up and the movie ends.
I'll tell you, I
But
think, generally, I think Randeep Hooda is a very seasoned actor, and he's also a very
yeah, he's been
mature.
around forever.
Yeah, and he's a mature actor, and he knows how to act really well. But
Yeah.
I don't think Sara Ali Khan or Kartik Aaryan, like, look, if you look at the movies that they've done, they haven't really been serious movies.
Yeah. And they're not doing serious movies further into their career either. Sara Ali Khan's doing Coolie #1 with Varun Dhawan, which is going to be a slapstick sort of
Yeah,
comedy.
it's just one time watches. Like the other movies, just for like it's. I don't think they're capable of reproducing Imtiaz's uh,
Yeah.
ideas on the screen really well.
And now when we talk about Rockstar, the reason this is where the comparison sort of comes in, that Rockstar has a similar story about this sort of eccentricity that revolves around love. Like the main character, wo jhakki hai, like he's stubborn and he's not right in the mind.
Mm.
But that sort of is saved by a multitude of factors: soundtrack, editing, cinematography, and acting. Because all of these work in
Except Nargis
harmony.
is
That's why the
acting.
movie
Nargis
works.
didn't act well at all.
Yeah, Nargis. I mean, it's not really her fault. Like Hindi
Yeah,
wasn't her first language.
yeah,
This was her first film,
and it was
and
she's not really good at speaking Hindi, so it came like it was very understandable from the dialogue delivery that they were very weird at some points. But other than that, it was a pretty good film. Like everything else
I
was
mean,
pretty good about it.
at the time we're talking 2011. Who could we have cast? Like we couldn't have cast Deepika because Ranbir had just broken up with Deepika, so she wasn't around.
No, but Ranbir did
Alia was,
Pasha with Deepika when they were broken up, if I'm not
yeah, but like a few years after, like the
wrong.
Rockstar happened right after the breakup,
Oh.
and that's why I think the performance was so good, because
Yeah.
it might have been inspired by
Rockstar only that canteen wala bhaiya says na while serving samosas कि दिल टूटता है तभी तो क्या गाना
झनकार आती है.
हाँ so an artist becomes an artist जब दिल टूटता है maybe my heart hasn't been broken enough times just putting it out
Shut up, Adi. So yeah, so that happens in the movie, and all these things work together well. So Nargis's acting, you sort of like put it in the background because there's so much other stuff to look
yeah
at, which is working so well.
yeah
And that's why the story is sort of similar. It's about this really eccentric guy who's just hell bent on getting one thing that he wants, which is essentially his career as a rock star. And he thinks love is the way. Like it's sort of similar but also the polar opposite. He says that he thinks that love is the way to get into what he wants to do in life, and then he realized the importance of love, and that the rest of it is just extra. And the it's a very simple story. It's just told in a very different way, and cinematography is good and all that stuff is good. In Love Aaj Kal, the story is really basic. Like it's pretty much non-existent, but the rest of the stuff isn't interesting as well. The songs, there's one good song by Arijit because it's Arijit, but cinematography is like very stock photo-ish. Like they're showing flashbacks, then it becomes like sepia. So I was like, this, I don't think this is
एक्शन का याद आ
Imtiaz.
गया मुझे वो सीपिया सीन्स देख के
Yeah, kiska?
extraction अरे the
Yeah. So
Netflix
yeah, it looked like it was like shot in Dhaka. Those scenes.
typical
And
tropical climate with max vibrance, saturation, and sea
yeah,
warmth. That was some bad editing. Anyway, I
so
think
it didn't work.
I would give Love Aaj Kal 1 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, I don't. I'll just say don't watch it
Yeah, I don't watch
because
it.
it'll
We
sort of
don't
let you down.
we don't
I
recommend.
yeah, yeah, we wouldn't recommend it because I don't know if this is actually Imtiaz truly wanted to make a new version of something that he's already made before,
Yeah.
and he felt it and made this, and it didn't work. I don't know if it was that, or the fact that someone wanted Imtiaz to make like a new version with these very bankable new stars and thought it would be a good idea,
It's
and
the
that's why he did it.
producers. I'm telling you, it's the producers keep ruining things because I was just gonna compare it. Okay, Love Aaj Kal 2 is like Masakkali 2.0. There was no need
Oh
for
God,
it.
yeah.
There was absolutely
Why?
no need for it. And it had released just a couple of years back, like 10 years back or something. And it's not that old, it's fresh in people's memories. 50 years later, they could have done it. There was no reason to release it. They released Masakali 2.0 only for TikTok. That is literally the reason they released Masakali 2.0.
Really, and it's true. If you want to watch something, like you really want to, like you've seen Rockstar and Tamasha, and you really want to fill that Imtiaz shaped heart void in your heart, but you should check out Laila Majnu because that's written by Imtiaz and I think directed by his cousin, and that's actually Imtiaz. It's a classic take on the Laila Majnu tale, just put in modern times. The story is the same, the characters are the same. It just sort of like how Heather sort of adapted Hamlet into like 90s Kashmir.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Laila Majnu adapted into present day Kashmir. That's it. That's that. Like he doesn't try to put in technology and all that. It's still a very old school classic tale, and it's fantastic. The acting and everything is amazing. The soundtrack, cinematography, all of that works super well.
So
So
maybe the
don't
next
watch
one
that.
we can review is the one. Which one is it about Kashmir? The one about Vidhu Vinod. I think Vidhu Vinod Chopra made it.
I haven't seen Shekara.
Yeah, we can watch Shikara and review it next.
Yeah, we can do that.
Our next review will
We'll
be.
also do Lutera, which is another movie about like love and mountains.
We like love, we like mountains, and we like love and mountains together. Love in the mountains. And the
Yeah.
I just wanted to say something like I I think Love Aaj Kal 2 was unnecessary. And the other thing is that Netflix really needs to chill out with movies. Like they really need some quality control. I don't know who it is. If you're, I don't know why you would be watching this, but if you're watching this, whoever is the content guy from Netflix, what is this?
Mrs. Serial Killer.
Yeah. Why is it? Why did you make it? Why? What was the need?
I think this is what I was talking about in the last, like when you were reviewing Extraction. Uh, that's why the same reason I didn't watch Hasmukh is the same reason I won't watch this, because it seems like someone had an idea. They said, okay, fine. Netflix has a lot of time and also censor का कुछ issue नहीं होगा.
Mm.
तो ये बना लेते हैं, सस्ते में बन जाएगा. And then we put it on and we'll see. It's fine. Like we have Manoj Bajpayee for the weekend. He basically charges nothing, and Jacqueline Fernandez is going to be in the lead role. So like, let's just do it, man. Let's just make it, and they just keep pumping these things out for
Yeah,
whoever
it
watches
is
them. I think
so
mom,
stupid.
yeah, like mom was watching it and she was just like, I turned it off after 5 minutes, and I think that's where they sort of like now that's where they lie, which is like, you can always turn it off, like you already have the service, so no one really stops them, and I don't think these cost any money, that much money to make anyway, that they need a wide release. That's why they come on Netflix, because they don't need to earn that money back.
Yeah,
So
like it,
I
this
don't
would have
know
barely
why.
cost anything. That's why they didn't do a theater release anyway. And I, I think they should. If see, Netflix will keep getting more and more consumer customers because they have a lot of content. But
Yeah.
if they keep pushing out shitty content like this, I think it's
Yeah, Netflix India, sure. Like Extraction was good. Like it was a good Netflix movie. That's something I wish I had watched in theaters,
yeah.
because that would be a fun like action movie to watch.
And the
But
sound
yeah, stuff.
sound. I think there would be a lot of sound effects as well in Extraction, which you
Yeah,
would live the movie in a theater.
yeah.
But
And but the rest of his, I don't even know who directed Mrs. Serial Killer. I'm
I
not
don't
really
want to
keen to
know.
find out.
I read the review on Hindustan Times newspaper, and I don't really read movie reviews because they're all so biased and all. But I read the movie review for Mr. Serial Killer, and I was like, wow, Hindustan Times is giving such a bad review. How bad it could be. So I watched the trailer, and I was like, oh, they're right. It's really bad. It is really, really bad. So
It's I watched the trailer and it felt like someone filmed a theater production, like समझा, like जैसे like this someone filmed a play. That's
ah,
what it seemed like. Like it's over the top, like everything's super low budget, and like just
and
accept the fact that
I don't know
it's
if
not real.
if they keep coming out with like bad movies like these, pata nahi. But I heard a lot of movies which was slated to release for which was slated for a theater release are going to come out on Netflix or Amazon Prime now. So that's a good,
Yeah, like stuff like, because theaters are probably the last thing that'll open,
yeah,
if you're being honest, because the health hazard is real.
yeah.
So I think the last I heard that this one 83 will probably come out
No, 83
on
won't.
DVD.
The other, some other big movie. 83, they're still hoping for a this thing. The
Oh yeah, because
Akshay,
that movie would make money.
Akshay Kumar's movie, the ones,
Suryavanshi.
no, the other one, where he's doing, wait, I'll look up the name. Akshay.
There's another Akshay Kumar movie this year.
He does like 15 movies a year. So yeah, Lakshmi Bomb. So
Oh yeah, it's like a horror comedy. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
something.
actually excited. I'm excited to see that, because the last I saw Akshay Kumar in sort of horror comedy was Bhool Bhulaiya. So if it's anywhere close, I'm in. Because
Wasn't it the?
Bhool
But
Bhulaiya
it
is
was a
good.
horror comedy. I liked Akshay Kumar when he didn't do political stuff, like and national.
Or yeah,
Like
have you seen Gold?
yeah, I have seen Gold.
How's his Bengali accent?
It's very bad. I think I think in Extraction that guy had a better accent than Akshay Kumar did.
I think that guy might actually be Bengali.
No, the Chris Hemsworth. He had a better Bengali accent.
Oh yeah, when you were speaking, oh wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
bad for Akshay Kumar.
No, I don't.
So
I genuinely liked Akshay Kumar in Welcome, and he was there in Oh My God as well, right? Well, yeah.
yeah.
And I liked him in Oh My God, but then after that he just dipped.
He's really good when he's not taking himself seriously.
Yeah, and
So
he
when he
doesn't
does
want
movies
to
like
take him seriously.
uh, what's the other one he did that I did not want to watch but I saw anyway?
Singh's King was good. I
Oh
really
yeah,
liked him.
I didn't watch Sing is Bling because
No.
I didn't
The
approve of
original
the
Singh's
title.
King.
Oh yeah, so exactly when he's not taking himself seriously and he's doing like schlock comedy, he's
Yeah.
great. But yeah, I didn't want to watch Gold. Actually, I've skipped a lot of Akshay Kumar movies. Padman, Gold,
He makes
all
way too
these
many
movies
of
I have
them
not.
to keep
Kesari.
track. He makes way too
Yeah.
many of them. He's very
I
rich.
watched Good News.
I haven't no I haven't seen it. No, the other movie we need to watch and review is Angrezi Medium because I
It'll
that
just make me. It's too soon. It'll make me too or damn sad.
it's because I heard it's a pretty decent movie. And
Uh,
anyway, rest in peace, Irfan Khan. He was a
yeah,
legend.
man.
That guy was really good.
He was so good. He's like, whenever I rewatch Heather, I skip the first half. I start the movie at the middle where Irfan Khan shows up, because that's where the movie actually sort of picks up the pace every time. He's so good, and it's sucks.
Anyway, before this
But
gets sad, any sadder, um, we will run.
don't watch Love Aaj Kal 2020.
It's all yeah. Don't watch Love Aaj Kal 2020. Sorry, Sarah Ali
Yeah, watch
Khan,
like
but
Laila Majnu. It's on Z5 or something. Check that out. It's much
yeah,
better.
love we way back yesterday does not recommend Love Aaj Kal 2020.
Please
And
don't watch it.
we'll catch you guys next week or in 2 days because we're pretty jobless and we have nothing to do other than just watch movies and eat popcorn. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you dislike. Please don't dislike. Subscribe, and you can help us that way. And if you want to join us for an episode of Coronacast, you can always hit us up, and we'll all join in and talk shit about Love Aaj Kal 2020. Anyway, good night.